From Chaos to Cosmos, How Square Enix Games Shaped My Life by Scott Young, Sinfamous Gamer. I'm Scott Young, a 43-year-old father of four, a streamer known as Sinfamous Gamer, and once Sinfernally Divine and Infernally Divine, and a survivor of a childhood that should have destroyed me. I was raised in a storm of trauma, mental, emotional, physical, and sexual. My mother, a former penthouse model, blamed me for ruining her career, spitting venom about how much she hated my existence. She had no morals, no love, just resentment. I never had a dad, just a parade of addicts who beat her and me. One of them, my little brother's father, married her and made our lives hell. He broke her bones, burned her belongings, and set fire to the tent bed I was sleeping in. He told her it was my fault, that things would be better if she got rid of me. That was my reality: chaos, violence, and rejection. No heroes to look up to, no examples to follow. I could have become a shadow of that world, angry, broken, or worse. But in 1987, when I was just a kid drowning in pain, I found something that pulled me out. The original Final Fantasy on the Nintendo. Those four light warriors, nameless, faceless heroes I could pour myself into, became my first lifeline. That game, from the minds at Squaresoft, now Square Enix, didn't just save me. It started a journey that shaped who I am today. Back then it was simple but profound. The Light Warriors fought against impossible odds, darkness, betrayal, and a world on the brink. I saw myself in them, a kid facing my own battles with no one to guide me. That game taught me perseverance before I even knew the word. It showed me that strength isn't about being invincible. It's about pushing forward when everything's against you. From that 8-bit beginning, I was hooked. Final Fantasy became my teacher, my sanctuary, my way to find peace in the chaos. As the years went on, Squaresoft kept building worlds that spoke to me. Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Famicom deepened those lessons. Stories of rebellion, sacrifice, and finding your own path. Then came the Super Nintendo era with Final Fantasy 4 and VIs, where characters like Cecil and Terra showed me redemption and resilience weren't just for heroes. They were for anyone willing to fight for them. By the time Final Fantasy VII hit the PlayStation and introduced me to Cloud, I was already a disciple of these games. Cloud, Tidus, Zidane, Lightning, they all added to the foundation the Light Warriors laid. They taught me to accept people no matter how different, to stand up for the oppressed no matter who they are, and to see that even an enemy can become an ally. But it's more than just Final Fantasy. Square Enix's other works lit fires in me too. Chrono Trigger, with Shala, who I named my youngest daughter after, she's 16 now, showed me you can rewrite even the darkest timelines. Parasite Eve taught me to face the unknown head-on. Dragon Quest reminded me that even the simplest soul can change everything. Each game stacked another layer onto who I was becoming, pulling me further from the abyss of my upbringing. Without these games, I don't know who I'd be. The violence and rejection I grew up with could have turned me into someone cold, cruel, or numb. Instead, I found a moral code in those pixelated worlds. They showed me how to be a father who'd never abandon his kids, a man who'd fight for what's right, and someone who could see good in others even when it's hidden. My daughter Shala, named after that enigmatic princess from Chrono Trigger, is proof of that legacy. It's not just a tribute to a game. It's a promise to be the parent I never had, to give her and my other kids a life where they're cherished, not blamed. So here I am, streaming as Sinfamous Gamer, sharing my love for these games that started with those Light Warriors in '87. They're more than nostalgia or entertainment. They're the compass that guided me out of darkness. From Nintendo to PlayStation and beyond, Square Enix didn't just make games, they made me. And I'll always be grateful for that first spark they ignited in a kid who needed it most.